So basically, everyone sacrifices all of the time of their life for pieces of paper with dead people on them. And they never really think about why they do that. And so everyone's life is chasing the Benjamins. For you foreign viewers, a Benjamin is Benjamin Franklin. He's on the $100 bill. I think he's on the 100. Might be on the 50. I can't remember. I think it's 100. And so it's odd that the purchasing power of your money keeps being stolen from you every year. So if you saved $100 20 years ago, now you've maybe got half left because it's worth nothing. You can't buy anything with it. And so why could you buy a cheeseburger for 10 or 20 cents way back when from McDonald's, and now it's $1.20, $1.30? Why is it 10 times more expensive? Because they keep printing the money out of thin air like a joke. So no one needs your money that you worked hard for when they can go get the new printed out of thin air money from the government. And so the government is stealing your money from you, but they're not stealing the units, they're stealing the purchasing power. So they're, instead of taking away your units, taking away your currency out of your pocket, they're inflating the prices and making it so that you can't buy anything. So instead of taking your money, they're raising the prices by just printing money.
Okay.
And this is disgusting because you're literally stealing from people. And the people that are hurt the most by this are people that have fixed income, people that are retired, people that are injured, people that are on Social Security. You know, it's very hard for them to increase the amount of money that they make to try and survive. And now they can't afford to eat or get gas. And then the government is like, oh, we can't just print thin money out of, you can't just print money out of thin air and hand it to people. It's literally just sending people checks.
Yeah.
There was a theory. Economists always said, well, you could do helicopter money, to just drop money from helicopters. They did it. Like, it's no longer a theory. The government literally just started sending people checks. And the unfortunate problem is it turns everyone into a slave to the government. And God forbid if the government doesn't like you for some reason and the check doesn't come, now you have to die. And America is a lot like that. Oh, your leg breaks. Die. Oh, you need some expensive medicine. Sorry. Die. There's no social medicine. You can get free emergency room, kind of, but that's not the best way to help humans, right? You want to do preventative medicine. You don't want to wait for everything to be an emergency. So yeah, America, it's got some problems. One of them is stealing the money from the people by just keeping printing.
Yeah.
Now, if you think you've got it bad in America, they got it worse everywhere else. So in Europe, you used to be able to buy about $1.3 with a euro. Now you can only buy 1.03. So about a third. So basically, if you're an American, you get like a 40% free extra bonus money to go buy stuff in Europe now because your currency is 40% stronger. And then, like, is that fair? So a guy that lives in America can now outbid a guy that lives in Europe for a house by 40% for no reason. So even though the dollar is horrible on its own, it's better than the foreign currencies elsewhere in the world. So cryptocurrency solves a lot of these problems. Instead of just the government printing free money all the time and making your money worthless, now you hold something that can't be printed out of thin air. You hold something with a very low inflation rate, or sometimes a negative inflation rate, a deflation rate, where it becomes more and more rare and more valuable. And then when you save, you're default richer in the future. But if you hold a dollar, you're default poorer in the future. And that sucks, You get locked up, hospital, jail, something, you come back, you're poorer. Not because you spent a nickel, but because the prices are all so much higher.
Yeah.
This Rolex from the factory was $600,000. Now, to buy it, I paid $1.4 million. Why does it cost twice the money now? Because everyone has too much money. Like, it's stupid. So I was rich and retired, self-made millionaire, came from a poor family in 2003. Bitcoin was invented in 2009. So I was already rich, retired millionaire in 2003, traveling the world. And then I basically got addicted to video games and spent all day from when I woke up to when I went to sleep playing video games and reading websites. And so then I had a really strong video card to play video games. It was an AMD, well, they didn't own it back then. It was called an ATI 5970. It had like 2 video cards on a single card. And it was really strong. And so back then, Bitcoin, you could mine it for free on your computer. You just double click an exe.
Oh, wow.
And it pops up and it starts mining. And then if you have a video card and you know how to set it up, it would like mine super strong. It would be the equivalent of like 50 computers or 100 computers. And I had that. So I was just like, I was reading Reddit, and Reddit had a bunch of technological stuff on the front back then. Now it sucks. It sucked less then. And I was reading about guys that had like sold their house for Bitcoin when it was $1. So I was mining Bitcoin back in March of 2011 at 50 cents a coin, but I was getting 50 Bitcoin at a time. So I'm bragging about having $25 then, but 50 Bitcoin now is $1.5 million.
It's nuts.
So you would just keep getting those. It might be more. Like, let me check it. 50 times 30K. So yeah, it's 1.5 million. So, and it's been as high as like 3 times higher, right? Like Bitcoin was 69K, now it's 30K. So it's like 2.5 times higher. And so if you held it, you made a lot of money. But if you sold it when it 2x'd, you didn't get rich, right? So in crypto, it's funny. It doesn't matter how early you got in. It matters how long you held. Because a lot of guys sold on a double and then they didn't get to hold it. The 690 million% rise that it's done so far. It's done a 69,000x. No more. It did more. It's done a lot, right?
Wow.
So then I discovered there's a lot of things wrong with it and I could fix those things and make them better. And so I did. So like Bitcoin pollutes the environment. I've got Pulsechain, which does not pollute the environment. Bitcoin dumps the price all the time. The price would be way higher if miners weren't selling the coins all the time to pay to buy pollution. And my new coin, Pulsechain, you don't have to sell coins to buy pollution. It's proof of stake. There's no proof of work. So you don't have to blow up the environment to run the consensus network. And so what Bitcoin does is it destroys the environment and wastes tons of electricity doing stupid math problems that are totally useless in order to prove that the statement that was made was true. Because if you wasted so much energy to make that statement, it made it so that you couldn't make a different statement. And so it gives you security that what someone said happened really happened. And then as each new block is mined, that security gets more and more secure until after 6 blocks, which on average happens about an hour. You know, there's one every 10 minutes on average, and they vary, right? You can wait 3 hours for a block sometimes. It lets you have a certainty about the proof and the reality that you can't get from just trusting people. You know, your bank says that you got money, and then you go to spend it and they say no. Yeah. Your bank says that you got money, and then they take it out of your account. And you're like, hey, where'd my money go? It was a chargeback. You know, we took the money back out. So in normal finance, you don't actually have your money. You just hope that you do. And sometimes they take it back. But in crypto, when you wait 6 confirmations of Bitcoin, that money is yours and no one can take it back, period. That's it.
Yeah.
Ethereum's similar, but it's much faster. You only have to wait maybe 15 minutes. Pulsechain, very similar. So like cryptocurrency not only solves the government stealing all your money from you by making it valueless, by raising prices, by printing it, it also solves middlemen. So if you want to go shop in a store, Visa and MasterCard are getting rich on you. Why? Why are they getting rich on you? Why don't you have the option to interact directly with the merchant? Why is there a middleman? Always a middleman. And there's more and more of them all the time. Cryptocurrency gets rid of those middlemen.